Mike Vrabel is back as the Patriots head coach, and he wasted no time getting down to business in his introductory press conference.
It was clear to me and to my family and my soul that this was the place that I wanted to be. You can find out what your culture looks like when your family, your business, or your team is at its low point. It's not when you're winning Super Bowls. We're going to earn the right to be here every day. We're going to remove entitlement from our football team. We're going to ask our players to just do a few things. One is to put the team first, to know what to do, and play fast and aggressive. Winners come in all shapes and sizes. Right? We're going to have leaders. Leaders are going to identify themselves. Everybody, in my eyes, is starting over, and they will prove to us and to this team that their impact that they'll make. Our goals will be to win the AFC East, to host home playoff games, and to compete for championships. We just want to be good enough to take advantage of bad football. That's where we're going to start. Right now, I don't know if we're good enough to take advantage of bad football. People ask what non-negotiables are. Our effort and our finish is going to be the contract that we make with our teammates. Time to get to work.
Vrabel setting the tone early. So let's turn to Boston.com sports reporter Khari A. Thompson on the Patriots' big decision. Thanks for joining us.
No problem. Thanks, James. Happy to be on.
Break it down to me. Why is Mike Vrabel the right choice at this moment?
Well, time will tell with that. I don't know if I'm ready to anoint Mike Vrabel yet, but it certainly looks like the Krafts got their guy. They moved quickly in the process, and they got a guy who has played here, who knows what the culture should look like, who is experienced. He has 6 years as a head coach and has a winning record. So this is someone with a track record of success that's lengthy, someone who comes in with a lot more experience than the previous head coach, and someone who just knows what the Patriots are supposed to be all about.
Well, I'm glad you mentioned culture, because when I watched the press conference today, Vrabel had some themes in Foxborough. He spoke about making connections with players, but also about holding them accountable and committing to the team aspect. And the big one was respect. How much of a culture shock might this be for some of these players?
I don't know. I mean, I don't think everyone's going to all of a sudden start acting more respectful under Mike Vrabel. This is an NFL locker room we're talking about here. But he did speak about starting with the basics, right? Showing up on time, just taking care of business. I think that's his way of just saying that we're going to do the little things well because we know we have a big task ahead of us. This Patriots team is full of holes. They're not going to get to his lofty goals of hosting AFC playoff games overnight. So he knows the best way to split up a big task is to chop it up into bite-sized chunks. And that's when you start with showing up on time and being nice to people. Then you build on that with the rest of the football stuff.
Well, the thing that everyone kept saying on Sunday when this was announced was he was supposed to be the coach last year. The Krafts should have hired him last time. So do the Krafts deserve any criticism for the way they've handled their last two head coaching searches?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, the process just hasn't felt legitimate. I mean, Gerard had it written into his contract last year that he was going to be Bill Belichick's successor, and so they honored it. And then this one, also, there's questions about how legitimate this one, with how fast they moved and, just the way they went about conducting their interviews with minority candidates. There's definitely some legitimate questions as to whether or not the Patriots are actually doing thorough coaching searches.
Okay, well, that's the past. Let's talk about the future. What comes next for Vrabel and the Pats? How can he put his stamp on the offseason, for example?
Well, it remains to be seen how much power he'll have in terms of personnel, but the Patriots have the number 4 overall pick in the draft. They have a ton of cash to work with, and they have a young, promising quarterback in Drake May. I think the biggest way Vrabel can help is he can set this culture, he can establish it, he can get back to the basics, and he can just lay the land for what it's supposed to look like. And the rest will come. The Patriots still need a ton of help in terms of talent. He spoke about the need to develop the offensive line and how he was pretty much considered a extra offensive line coach in Tennessee with how much time he spent with that unit over there. So he knows the importance of getting Drake May protection. They're going to have to add some weapons, and they're going to have to tighten up this defense. And that should be something he knows all about, being a former linebacker.
Great. Boston.com sports reporter Khari A. Thompson, thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks, James.
For daily access to Boston Globe Today, all segments and episodes are available on demand in the Boston Globe app by clicking Watch.